Over the weekend, I was trying to figure out what types of episodes I wanted to film for this upcoming week, and one that kept on popping into my head, it was something that I've been actually talking about to Cool Trainer Ryan pretty regularly, which was the current climate of Pokemon and then just Pokemon YouTube in general. Overall, I would say that we agreed on many points, specifically an overall pessimistic view in general with some silver lining. Being a Pokemon YouTuber myself, I think this is a pretty taboo topic and it's an easy way to get yourself castrated in real time. I also did want to give a big shout out to Sandy, because we got to give credit where credit's due. When I was actually looking up this topic on YouTube to see if any other Poketubers had kind of mentioned this recently, he was one that popped up and he did a video a few days ago and I really enjoyed his take on it and I wanted to give him a shout out because number one, I was right where this guy is and I think his points were valid. Number two, I didn't want him to think that I was farming him or anyone else for that matter because that's something that we're going to be talking about. CTR can confirm. And number three, solid take, solid video. I just wanted to say that. I think first and foremost, we are now really sniffing the fumes of the big boom from a few years ago. But just like Newton's third law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. But we are now at an incredible crossroads, not only in Pokemon, but I think in life in general. The world, I feel, is up in arms, as they're experiencing extreme inflation, record poverty, and incredible civil unrest, which I also think will naturally affect what people do in their day-to-day lives, and it will also reprioritize what is important to them, which of course includes what they watch on YouTube. At the end of the day, Pokemon is simply a luxury item and should be treated as such. And until the day that I can pay my grocery bill with a PSA slab, I will also continue to treat it as a luxury item. I also think there's a factor that can't really be quantified when people are experiencing extreme pressure in their day-to-day lives, whether it's financial, physical, metaphysical, you name it. I think it's hard for people sometimes to go on YouTube and see other people doing well and acting like there's not a care in the world when they're having trouble putting on their heat. I also think that YouTube serves the opposite purpose where they can go on and they can get away from their everyday life, which is a form of escapism, and I think we all do it on some level every single day when it comes to the internet or the Matrix. Speaking of crossroads, we are really experiencing one in Pokemon in general. Ash is on his way out. They're literally changing a fundamental look of the cards from yellow borders to silver borders, and we are seeing Japanese cards now go for a premium, which has never been the case in the past. And I do think that has an impact on popularity, especially on the American side, but I will digress in this video because I want to angle it back towards YouTube in general. One big issue that I see with our space guys is there is major oversaturation as far as creators are concerned. If I look back to when I re-entered the hobby 10 years ago, there was a handful of Pokemon YouTubers at best, and many of them were much smaller compared to where they are right now. Now there are literally thousands upon thousands of Poketubers. But I'm going to tell you guys something. In today's Pokemon YouTube world, if you are not unique, you don't bring value, or you are in any way disingenuous at all, you have literally no shot. I think viewers in general are taking a hard right turn towards creators that are sincere, bring value, and are the same people whether the camera is on or off. Due to the oversaturation, there's a level of lateral surveillance in Pokemon YouTube that there has never been before. Literal Pokemon detectives now roam the streets. So if you are scamming, cheating, lying, or somehow trying to take advantage of the community, you will be exposed immediately, which I do think is necessary, and I personally welcome it. I truly think this point also parallels what's going on in the world in general. If lawlessness is allowed to continue, there will be unrest in the streets for as long as it's there. Like in most cases, we cannot let the patients run the asylum, if you know what I'm saying. So having all different types of creators in our space is actually necessary and brings a lot of appeal to the TCG in general. And I also want to say that there's other Poketubers that do this same type of content that really do well in their own right. Creators getting exposed by fellow creators can be an unpopular business, and no one likes being exposed or ratioed for that matter, at least not publicly. But creators like Rattle and Opossum are necessary in my opinion. Their work offers legitimacy to our hobby, and it lets newcomers know that the streets are clean, or at least that they're being cleaned. I also want to go on record in saying this again publicly. This is not me discouraging new content creators. If anything, it should be encouraging, and it should be a playbook on what to do and what not to do, how to be successful, how not to be successful. The best way to learn how to do something is to watch someone else do it wrong a bunch of times in a row, I guess. And if anything, guys, you're looking at living proof that it is possible. Go look at my videos 2 years ago compared to now. If I can do it, any one of you can do it. And at the end of the day, despite all things that I've discussed before this, a lot of times it comes down to video quality and also what value you're bringing to the table. If the video is not a good video, it will not do well. I think that's been a hallmark of YouTube videos in general. That's why you will see people like Pat Flynn of Deep Pocket Monsters do so well in his videos compared to his subscribers. He has some videos that have gone to 4 million, 5 million views. It's insane. He has a unique and honest look at the Pokemon community through his own lens. Same as why PokeRev is popular. He's a sincere person who has a major Pokemon addiction, and we love tuning in every day to watch it. And then, of course, there's a loose cannon like Cool Trainer Ryan. But here's the great thing about him. You never have to wonder what he's thinking, because he'll just tell you. All of these points lead me to the fact that I see a natural downsizing or correction in the Pokemon community and or the excitement around the TCG in general. I truly believe that this year you will see a thinning of the herd, and we're going to go back to a format where there's going to be a pretty big dyad between the upper class and the guys that are fighting to get into that middle to upper class. But that's natural. This comes along with every type of industry, business, or our type of community in general. There's constantly an ebb and flow. And all this means, guys, is that for those of you that are just starting out, it's just going to take more work on your end to break through that glass ceiling. And we'll just call it like 10,000 subscribers, because I think that is really hard for people to do sometimes. And just know that you have to be different, you have to be genuine, and you have to take it seriously. Because if you don't, you will get exposed instantly in real time. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Totally different take than we normally do. If you did, hit all the buttons, guys. We're marching to 100,000 subscribers. I can't do it without you guys. I'm going to see you on the next live or the next episode. Peace.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. It's time to hit the button already. Do it now. What do you think, I'm dancing for free here?